2018. The best World Rally Championship for a generation. A battle that raged the whole season.
It is title number 6 for Ogier and Julian Ingrassia.
Already, 2019 looks like it could be another vintage year. As always, we start with a motorsport classic, the Montecarlo. It's the one all the drivers want to win, but to win here, first you have to beat these two French world champions, Sébastien Ogier and Sébastien Loeb. Between them, they have won 12 out of the last 13 WRC events here. So what will it take to get the better of them?
Being clever, like always. It's important to make the right tire choice. Of course, we mention that every time, but also you can't push 100% all the time on this rally. You have to be able to change your rhythm when you arrive on a tricky section.
You have to really adapt your rhythm all the time and to choose the right tire choice, to do no mistakes. It's a long and tricky rally, so it's not easy to win.
Every Monte is a challenge. We have to start the night in the dark, and for sure it's going to be tricky. It's high speed and you're going over crest, blind crest in the dark, onto ice and stuff.
Now you wait and see what the sun is doing, how much is melting, and what is the grip and what is the condition. This is the Montecarlo, what makes it very challenging and difficult.
I think the first clear thing is not to make mistakes, and the second one is to make the right choice on tyres. After that, I guess, comes driving really well.
Pay attention now. The big names are in new colours this year. First, the reigning champion, Seb Ogier. Seb's back where he started, at Citroën. The French car maker is celebrating its centenary this year and will be looking to start the celebrations with a win.
Definitely the motivation is there. Of course, Citroën have a lot of hopes, and on my side, I for sure I should have pressure on the shoulder.
Also, new to Citroën, Finland's Esa-Pekka Lappi. New at Toyota, Chris Meek. In a new team and with a new co-driver, Seb Marshall.
I'm just happy to be part of a team on the ascendancy, and for sure one that's 100% committed to just pure success on the stages.
Chris partners Oyt Tanak. His roller coaster of a season in 2018 saw him in the title hunt right until the end. A great achievement, but this year only the World Championship will do.
How confident were you feeling at the end of last year? Because there were some rallies you felt like you were next to unbeatable at times.
What was last year, that was last year, so it doesn't mean it will be the same this year, so we still have some job to do.
Perennial championship runner-up Thierry Neuville stays with Hyundai.
So the 5 years now, with no big results, let's say. Only some wins. Obviously, the team decided to make some changes. Hopefully, everything goes to the positive way, and we will have another strong year this year.
Nearly man Neuville has been second to Ogier for 4 years. Now his team has a new boss. Can he help the Belgian finally claim the crown?
I will not tell you that we will win for sure. I will tell you that we will do all what is possible and something more, and me and all my people will spit blood to make it.
Wales spearheads the M Sport Challenge, Elfyn Evans' mission to breathe fire into the 2019 season. Stepping away from the day-to-day, Malcolm Wilson. The boss's shoes to be filled by Rich Milliner.
We're back to being the underdogs again, which is always a good position and a nice, fun position to be in.
The biggest surprise is the return of the sport's legendary champion, Seb Loeb, a 9 times world champion, his achievements unmatched. He joins Hyundai. It's the first time ever the Frenchman has driven for anyone other than Citroën. He's scheduled to do 6 events. A fast start to the season might tempt him and the Koreans to let him chase a 10th world title. The World Rally Championship travels the globe. 14 of some of the most challenging events in motorsport. Following the classic Monte, it's a trip to Northern Europe for the snow of Sweden. In April and May, a new double-header in South America, Argentina, and new for 2019, Chile. The stars will slug it out across the year. The finale in 11 months in Australia. The ceremonial start was held on Thursday night in the mountains in Gap, 250 kilometres northwest of Monaco. The drivers took to the stage in front of the fans, many of the stars in their new team colours.
A new season, a driver reshuffle and fresh hopes for the latest championship, starting though with the Monty's traditional terrifying night stages. For Sébastien Ogier, the number one is still on the car, but in 2019, it's a Citroën C3 for the Frenchman. Back with the team where the local boy began his rallying career a decade ago. It may take some time to adapt to his new toy, but the early signs were impressive. On a mixture of dry tarmac and ice, Michelin studded tyres seemed to be the safest compromise. Not so for Thierry Neuville, though. The Belgian, who has finished a frustrated second to Ogier in the championship race for 3 years running, opted for a mixture of studs and super soft compound tyres. It cost the Hyundai man 16 seconds in the slippery opening test, but it should come good in the drier asphalt awaiting in stage 2.
Thierry, 16.2 seconds slower than Seb in the stage. Was this a gamble that didn't pay off, or is it part of a plan?
I don't know. I was surprised that the grip was still that good, so I was a little bit careful. I expected to be more slippy, but with 2 slicks on the car and the other in all full stat, I hope I can have the advantage now on the next stage and hopefully catch back the time, which should be okay.
For the second half of 2018, meanwhile, Ott Tänak was close to unbeatable on many events. Toyota's Estonian only belatedly falling away in the championship fight. Second in Montecarlo a year before, Tänak makes a stunning start. 10 seconds quicker than Ogier in stage 1. A small slide on the ice in the following test saw him lose ground. But the Estonian remained our early leader. And it would be a welcome return to the WRC fold by Tänak's new teammate Chris Meek. The Brit dropped by Citroën midway through 2018, but back with a bang on his first outing in the Yaris.
Ice braking late, turn long 2 left of a full ice.
Second fastest in stage 1 behind Tänak, an early sign of intent from the Northern Irishman.
Honestly, I was full of anticipation this morning to drive again, and more so tonight in competitive conditions, especially so tricky, but I was waiting for that moment for so many months, but the car just gives you confidence, and when the car's working around you, you can drive, you know.
Back with a different sort of bang, though, would be M Sport Ford's Teemu Süninen and his new co-pilot Marko Salminen. The Finn off on the ice only a few kilometres into the opening stage and stuck fast. And not long after, WRC2 pro runner and fellow Finn Kalle Rovanperä rubbing insult to injury at the same corner. The Skoda driver able to continue, partly because Suninen's Fiesta helped him avoid the roadside ditch. It would be a welcome return to the WRC fold for 9-time world champion Sébastien Loeb. The Frenchman's 3-event campaign in 2018, culminating with a 70-night victory in Spain, opened the door to this fascinating new chapter with Hyundai. On all studded tyres, Loeb thrives with a 4th-place finish in stage 1, but suffers on the dry second test. The 7-time Monte Carlo winner 8th after the opening night stages. And there would be frustration for Chris Meek and his new co-driver Seb Marshall before the night was done. After their stunning run through stage 1,
Well, lap 5 left, 30, left over the crest at sign, into right slowing for very slow, 3 left pointers, tightness for 80.
a tyre knocked off the rim in 2 would undo their hard work. A minute lost, but the pace was there. This had still been a promising return from the British crew.
Tanak, the early leader in the opening round of 2019. Ogier just over 9 seconds behind. Neuville making up ground on the drier stage 2. He's in third. The Finns, Lappi and Latvala, rounding off the top 5. Next, tyre choice is everything on unpredictable alpine roads as the fight intensifies to be rally's king of the mountains.
What do you know from the stages?
Tricky conditions, so won't be easy.
A change of teams for the champion. The most unpredictable rally of the season, but it's business as usual as Ogier and Neuville fight it out on the Monte.
To the first daylight action of Rally Montecarlo. With the Alpine roads rapidly flooded with fans, the organisers were forced to cancel stage 3 for safety reasons. Onto stages 4 and 5, and that cancelled test would have a big impact on tyre strategies. With most of the loops ice and snow in the cancelled stage 3, it left many on a compromised situation on the dry test that followed. Thierry Neuville would run on 3 soft compound and 1 studded tyre through the 24 kilometres of stage 4. Despite an understandable balance with the I-20, this was still a rapid run, propelling the Belgian past Sébastien Ogier on the leaderboard.
It was okay. Not so nice towards the end, but it was drivable. So I tried to do a clean stage and try to see if we can catch some time.
Neuville on the move. And with Tanak like Ogier on a mixture of studded and soft compound tyres. On the bone-dry tarmac of stage 4, he too was suffering. More than 19 seconds slower than Neuville, the lead was conceded to the Belgian. Neuville has a high-profile new teammate in the shape of Sébastien Loeb, and the Frenchman had been handed a lifeline by that cancelled stage. Choosing to carry less studded tyres in the car, the most successful driver the sport has ever seen was able to take full advantage of his superior grip in stage 4. A first stage win in Hyundai colours for the 9-time champ, and Loeb stormed up from 8th to 4th, despite a close call of his own late in the stage.
We have a rear left puncture. We lost a little bit on the end, but it was close to the end, so it's okay. We didn't lose too much. But starts to be a gravel on the road coming behind, so we had a good tyre choice, but we are not able to make a difference.
While stage 4 was dry, the following test did feature a 5-kilometre section of snow and ice at the top of the col, and a chance for Sébastien Ogier to fight back. Next to no grip at times despite his studded tyres, but it was a stage win for Ogier, and he passed Tanak to return to 2nd overall. Jari-Matti Latvala, meanwhile, had struggled with setup and confidence in the early stages. But finally, with the Yaris dialed in and the right tyre choice for the conditions, the Finn was back in the game. Third quickest in stage 5, the Toyota man stormed up from 9th to 6th.
2.9 down on Ogier. That's a good run.
Yeah, finally it was a good one. I think here we had a right tyre choice, and I was first time I had a relaxed feeling for the driving. I mean, I've not been driving that well up to this point, but now the notes were very good from the guys, and feeling was good. So let's try to carry on like this.
The top three reversed after the Friday morning loop. Neuville now leads, with Ogier second and Tanak third. Loeb lost a bit of ground in stage 5, Hyundai's new recruits slipping adrift of the podium places. So after the first daylight stages of 2019, the worry for the teams is still about tyres.
There are ice patches, there is snow, there are dry section, damp, so it's Montecarlo. It's everyone in the end now is going out with the same tyre choice, so it's a matter of driver capability, car setup.
Tell me also how good it felt for Sebastian Loeb to get his first stage win in the Hyundai.
It's good, but I hope he's going to win more.
I won one. That's done. Because it's not easy to win stages in the World Championship. So, but yes, the feeling with the car was good.
Back in the mountains, with the huge numbers of fans moved to a safer position, we would finally get a glimpse of the new Valdrome to Sigortier stage. With a healthy covering of ice and snow, again, tyre choice would come to the fore. Ogier opting for the compromised mixed pattern of studs and soft compound Michelins, and it would be a wise decision. The world champion's supreme car control making the difference on the changeable grip levels. Another stage win for Seb, and the pursuit of Thierry Neuville had begun. The Belgian's defence of the top spot was not helped by a high-speed evasive action early in stage 6. A brief slide needing a trip down the access road, around 15 seconds drop, getting the car facing back in the right direction. Neuville with more studded than slick tyre options in the car. This was a significant setback on an icy stage he needed to pull out an advantage on.
I was too fast with this tyre. I just turned and the car wouldn't turn, and I could have tried, but I preferred to escape the situation, and yeah, I lost around 15 seconds.
But a remarkable recovery. You're only 2 seconds down on Sebastian.
Yeah, but we could have been 17, 18 faster, and for the next stages he has definitely the better tyre choice, so yeah, not perfect.
Neuville's lead hanging by a thread after 6 stages. Further back, though, Jari-Matti Latvala's upward momentum had been maintained. Now in his 13th full season in the WRC, the Finn had the experience to know that patience could be rewarded in the Monty. The rhythm had returned, and with an identical time to Ogier in stage 6, Latvala moved up to 5th. Jari-Matti, the leading Finn on the leaderboard. His young compatriot Esa-Pekka Lappi had seen his pace begin to fade in the changeable conditions, but worse was to come for Citroen's new recruit. A crunching impact on the front left corner. EP able to limp on to the finish line. But with what would be irreparable damage to the front left wishbone and the drive shaft, this didn't look good for Lappi. Pontus Tiedemann was making his debut behind the wheel of the current era of World Rally Car. In the first of a 2-rally campaign with M Sport Ford, Monty being used as a warm-up round before his home event in Sweden. But stage 6 would also be the last of his day. A broken wishbone the cause of Tiedemann's demise, but the Swede will be back for more on Saturday.
The fight at the front heating up as Ogier gets to 1.4 seconds of Neuville, the leader. Tanak third, Andres Mikkelsen up to 4th after setting the 3rd best time in stage 6. Esa-Pekka Lappi's first rally for Citroën ends at the side of the road. He's unable to repair the damage from stage 6. The Montecarlo Rally sees the introduction of the new WRC2 Pro Championship. There are titles to drivers, co-drivers and registered R5 manufacturers. The same specification car will be used in the FIA WRC2 Championship, which is now solely for privateers. But in the Pro, drivers must contest a minimum of 7 rallies, including one outside Europe. Drivers count their best 8 results, and here we have 2 Pro entries. One of those, Gus Greensmith, who is top of the pile. Kalle Rovanperä took 4 stage wins today, but is still way off top spot after the crash on Thursday night. No need then for Johan Bernardo to take any risks, as he had a comfortable lead at the top of WRC2. In contrast, Adrien Fourmeau is pushing hard in 2nd position, setting the fastest time on stage 8. On the leaderboard, it's Greensmith who leads the combined class. Bernardo leads WRC2, Fourmeau a minute and 3/4 behind, Guillaume de Merviers finishing the day 3rd in class.
With the shadows growing longer over the mountains and the temperatures dropping again, there were still 2 stages to run on Friday. And with the lead up for grabs, Sébastien Ogier was on a charge. On the dry roads of Stage 7, the winner of the Monty for the previous 5 years had the tyres and the setup to thrive. Finally, Neuville was reeled in. The lead was the local heroes for the first time this week. But could he hold on? What had been a 3-horse race at the front, though, was about to become 2. Wout Tanak had been slipping adrift of the leading pair. And an overzealous cut in Stage 7 would finally put an end to his pursuit. Tanak and co-driver Martin Järveoja forced to stop and change a wheel. There would be no Monty victory for the Estonians this year. Tanak's troubles would mean luck for Loeb. The returning superstar had again opted for more slick tyres than studded in the afternoon loop. Seb Senior had dropped around half a minute in the snow-covered Stage 6, but in the dry Stage 7, it was his chance to fight back. Looking at the whole loop, the risk hadn't really paid off, but the 9-time champion would briefly hold on to 3rd place as Friday afternoon wound down.
I had a really good stage now. I knew I lost a lot in the one before because of the tyre choice, but I knew I have the tyre choice for this one.
Elfyn Evans, meanwhile, had big shoes to fill, stepping into the role of M Sport Ford's team leader, following Ogier's move to Citroën. The Welshman had shown good form on changeable asphalt roads in the past and would finally make his mark in Stage 7. Like Loeb, gambling on tyres suited to dry conditions, Evans was 2nd fastest and leading his team's charge in 6th. With Loeb's pace fading on the ice of the day's final stage, though, 3rd place had become a 3-way fight, with Latvala and a resurgent Andreas Mikkelsen moving ahead of the veteran. Hyundai's Norwegian in need of a strong start to the year after a disappointing 2018, and it was Andreas who would hold the final podium spot at the end of Friday. While out front, having conceded the lead to Ogier in the day's penultimate test, Thierry Neuville wasn't quite done yet. Again, their differing tyre choices would be the key. The Belgian able to run on all studded Michelins on the ice of Stage 8 and taking 12 seconds back from the leader. It would once again be game on as attention switched to Saturday stages.
Thierry, you're still in 2nd position, but the gap is down to 2 seconds.
The gap between Ogier and Neuville is down to 2 seconds, and a three-way fight behind for third, with just over 8 seconds separating Mikkelsen, Latvala and Loeb. More frustration for Mick though, the Brit forced to stop for almost 4 minutes after damaging another wheel rim. There's a warm welcome for Ogier back at service.
Honestly, I would have signed for this. I mean, being in the lead, it's very nice. So for sure, tomorrow is still a long day and still some time to try to make differences. But at least we are here. We didn't do any mistakes today, and that's most important.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.